Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Genesis once again, and talking about one of my favorite decks that I've been able to play here and there throughout the years, but have really kind of found a foothold in Genesis. With that being said, just a quick little announcement. Got a recent comment on one of my videos talking about doing some more educational stuff with regards to combo tutorials, test hands, stuff like that, kind of seeing how the deck should play. And while I don't really play online simulators that much unless I'm testing with friends, so I can't give you replays, I can do some solitaire hands and kind of see like what the perfect hands do. So I plan going forward to do deck profiles in two parts, where we'll do the deck profile where we actually talk about the cards, and then kind of the choices behind them, and then we'll also be doing a second video that'll go up the day after, and that will be more of the test hands, combo tutorials, stuff like that. So tune in if you like those things, and without further ado, let's talk about Magikey. Magikey is a deck that has been near and dear to me. It is a really fun deck, very difficult to build and very difficult to play because there's a lot of different things going on with this deck. As a ritual archetype, there's a certain amount of inconsistencies, and then you also want to play a bunch of vanillas, and so you have inconsistencies there. And then on top of that, you need different attributes as well. So there's a lot of things going on with this deck, and it's been a really fun challenge to try and crack. So without further ado, we are on 3 Betos Buster, level 4 tuner, ritual monster, and most notably, when it's summoned, you get to search a Magikey card. The other effect doesn't really come up. It's if it battles a monster of the same attribute as a normal monster or Magikey in your graveyard, you can negate the monster's effects and then shuffle cards from your hand to the deck and then draw that same many. I never use it, but it's there, I guess. So, but yeah, this is one of the main cards that you want to see. And there's just a lot of stuff that you can do with it. After that, we got Garrus Glosser. This is the big guy. I'm probably going to cut him. Notably, if while he's on the board, he gains 300 for every normal monster with a different attribute in your graveyard, or maybe it's just different attribute in general. Yeah. So for each different attribute. And so he gets big. But also, if your opponent activates a monster effect of an attribute in your graveyard, you can negate and destroy it once per turn. The reason I play one is because he's actually kind of hard to bring out if you do see him. And most of the time that you see him, you'd rather it be Betos Buster. But if you get him on the board, he's absolutely insane. The problem is, Betos Buster only requires 1 material, whereas Garrus Glosser requires 2. And there's other cards that you would rather play. Or I should say, there's other cards that you would rather make. So, if there was a way to consistently see him, I would definitely do that. So maybe that's some theory crafting I need to do, is like find a way to reliably search him as part of the mainline combo. After that, we're on 3 Mathtail. This is probably the best main deck monster that we're playing. He is a level 4 tuner, and if you control a Magikey monster, you can reveal him in your hand. And then for the rest of the turn, you get an additional normal summon of Magikey monster. When he's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower normal monster from your grave. And so most of the time, you're just making a synchro right off of this, and going from there. But there's also times where you use his Light Fiend attribute to do other things, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, he's one of the other main cards. These two cards are cards that like you want to see as often as possible. But there are so many ways to get to him as well. So that is all the effect monsters that we're playing for the mainline engine. After that, we are on 2 Clavicus. The reason that we play 2 is he's a dark, which, doesn't matter too much because Betos Buster is also a dark. But he also is a Magikey name. So you can search him off of certain things if you just need a normal monster. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to him. Playing a Phantom Griffin. The only thing that matter about these guys, about these normal monsters, is attribute and level. Obviously, you'd rather be playing the highest attack point or highest defense point as possible, but all that matters is that they are a non-tuner, level 4 wind monster, or a attribute. Shiny Black Sea Squatter, and then Fire Kraken. People love that I'm playing this card. This is really just because I didn't own the Suship level 4 vanilla. And like I said, it really doesn't matter what you're playing in this slot, as long as it's a level 4 non-tuner with the right attribute. So, I am not playing Megalomasher X. I just don't think water is prevalent enough in Genesis to warrant using the Megalomasher. And then finally, we're playing a Dippity. This is for a light attribute. Maftail is also a light, so it's not as needed. But spoiler alert, we're playing a small Fiendsmith engine, and this does come up quite a bit. Alright, after that, we got 3 Magikey World. On activation, searches for a Magikey monster. First time that each normal monster would be destroyed, it's not. And then once per turn, you can add Maftea, the gun, to your hand, and then put 1 card from your deck and from your hand onto the bottom of the deck. So this does shore up a lot of the bricking. One of my friends last night was like, I see a ton of bricks there. Yeah, we're playing 6 normal monsters, and then there's some other bricks as part of the engine as well. And by virtue of being a ritual deck, sometimes you're going to see the ritual monster and not the ritual spell. But World really takes care of that because you just get to throw 1 card from your hand onto the bottom deck and get a good playmaker every turn. After that, we are on 3 Mafte. This card is absolutely cracked. You can fusion, or you can ritual summon with this card. And then if you control a normal monster, you can use a normal monster from your deck as part of the materials. So, a lot of times you just have a normal monster, you activate this, you send any normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and you can summon Betos Buster. And then you go from there. So it's really incredible, and that's why we play such a huge amount of normal monsters, is we really do want to see these guys, because getting them on the board for Mafte is mission critical. Also notably, Mafte has no hard once per turn on it. You can activate it as many times as you want. After that, 3 Advanced Ritual Art. Obviously, we're playing a bunch of normal monsters and ritual monsters, so this is just a good include. It's also the best way to get Garrus Glosser out, if you choose to play it going forward, but like I said, it's probably getting cut for me. 3 Unexpected Die, like we said. Want to get to the normal monsters as much as possible. The unfortunate thing with this deck is I want to play like a Primite engine with this, and the problem is it coincides with the fact that you sometimes just normal summon these guys. A lot of times you're just normal summoning these guys. And so having the Unexpected Die kind of remedies that, but it still isn't enough to make it worth it. Finally, 1 Magikey Unlocking. If you control Magikey from the extra deck or a ritual, you can negate a spell or trap, and then you turn all your opponent's monsters into a certain attribute for the rest of the turn. This is great because you care about what your opponent is playing and what attributes you have corresponding to it. 9 times out of 10, if I have it my way, I'm sending Phantom Griffin and Shiny Black Sea Squatter to have Earth and Wind coverage. Just because I think that those are the kind of most played archetypes. or attributes in Genesys with Radiant Typhoon and Odeon specifically. But also, you know, it has incidental synergy with everything else. You're also usually getting a Betos Buster and a Math Tail, so you got Light and Dark covered as well. But on the off chance that you don't, you can do this and then call Wind, and then everything your opponent is doing is now a Wind monster. So it can mess up certain combos and stuff like that, but you're also doing it mostly for the Spell Trap negate. So that is the main engine here. I think that you could probably, like I said, go down on Nagaris Glosser, unless we find a reliable way to search it. And then you could probably go down on maybe one of the vanillas. For example, when I side out, I usually am siding out Fire Kraken or my Fire Target if I'm not going against Fire King. But you really do want to play that kind of critical mass because you can use Moth Tail a lot more. All right. From here, we got some non-engine. I was playing 3 Ghost Mourner, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Miradora, and then 2 Pot of Greed. I am still kind of getting used to this new format, and you know, as you can see in my most recent videos and or more recent videos, I've been a huge believer in Ghost Mourner. I am here to tell you, I don't like this card that much. I think it has some good synergies against certain decks, but I think against the best decks in the game, Miradora is slightly better. Against Exo Sister, Ghost Mourner was pretty decent, but if you're trying to stop boss monsters, I think Miradora is just better. For example, I was really afraid of Archmage and the Actorus, and this card completely hoses that and turns off the Omni Negate. You can also do it on Nerva as well. Ghost Mourner is more good for standard playmakers, and I just don't think that there's that many of them running around in this format. I think it's decent against the small Radiant Typhoon cards, and against Exo Sister, but I also think that Miradora is usually just better. Yeah, so I think going forward, I'd probably cut the Ghost Mourners. It also frees up a little bit of point space. This is 9 points over here. Ghost Ogre is really good every time I saw it. It's good into Odeon. It's good into Archmage. It was decent into Exo Sister. Yeah, it just has some good synergies there. And then obviously I had a bunch of points to spare, so I threw in 2 Pot of Greed. You know, you're a ritual deck, you just like to have the hand advantage. But I also wanted to play more non-engine, so I only played 2 of them. After that, we got some supplementary engines. Like I talked about earlier, we are playing a Fiendsmith package. 3 Engraver, 1 Tract, 1 Lurie. I think going forward, I'd like to play the second Tract. Just so you don't have to use Magikey World to throw the Tract back if you need to discard it for, to discard Engraver. But it's kind of weird. Because we don't have Link monsters, it's a little unintuitive to actually use the Fiendsmith stuff. But people often forget Tract has a fusion effect attached to it. You banish it from your graveyard and fusion summon. So, because we play a critical mass of Light Fiends in Magikey Math Tail as well as Dippity, Lurie and Engraver as well can also be it as well. So even if you don't get a good amount of, say you don't want to fusion off your Math Tail or something like that, just getting the Math Tail out there, and then you start with Engraver, grab Tract, grab Lurie, discard Lurie, you have Lurie for your entire combo line, and then you finish your combo off, you go Engraver, shuffle back the Math Tail, and then you can fusion off there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Making Wave High King Caesar is also really good. But a lot of times people just don't see it coming, and it's a lot of fun. But also just like Tract is good just to like Rhoda for Maftail. Or, I mean, there was even a time, like, I tracked Grab Dippity, you know? And it's a really versatile engine, and it's a good time as well. And then final supplementary engine, we are playing 3 Rahu, a Pan, and a Horn. This is 0 points. The Fiendsmith stuff 0 points. And I just really like this small little 5-card engine. It requires 1 to 2 cards in your extra deck as well. But it only locks you for the rest of the turn on Rahu. And it's really good to break boards. But it's also good as a first turn setup as well. Because you can go Rahu, send Pan, and 1 monster. Because you're playing a good amount of monsters like you just want out of your hand with the normal monsters. You go Rahu to make Gulamel, and then Pan to set the Horn. And then you have a good play on your opponent's turn. And then going second, after you've kind of pushed in their board, you go Rahu, and then you can pop their board with Pan and Gulamel. So, yeah. Onto the extra. I didn't realize I'm using the same mat as the sleeves. That's funny. On the extra, Magikey cards are really hard to pronounce. So I will refer to them as what they are, not their actual full names. We're playing the level 4 Beast. This one on summon grabs the gun from your graveyard. And then it has a semi-relevant effect where you can target a monster your opponent controls that has an attribute in the graveyard. Switch to defense, make it lose 1,000 defense, and then if it banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. Most notably, you're grabbing the Maftail with this, or the Maftay, and continuing to play from there. Yeah, it's also a level 4 tuner, so, you know, that's somewhat relevant. It's also level 4, so, you know, cool. Playing the Dragon. Dragon is a card I used to not play that much, but I think has found more of a home. When summoned, your opponent can't activate anything, so they can't bottomless it, I guess, is relevant, I guess. But more notably, you can target an attribute in your graveyard, and then destroy all monsters your opponent controls with that attribute. If a monster that your opponent controls is destroyed that shares an attribute in your graveyard, you get to draw a card once per turn. Yeah, so you don't prioritize making this that often, but in the combo video, I can kind of show you. We do have ways where we get like a good amount of extra deck cards on the board, and can do some crazy stuff with it. This is the main card that we're making. This is the Fiend. When it's summoned, if you use 2 different attributes, you search your deck for Magikey Spell or Trap. Most of the time you're grabbing Unlocking, the trap card. For a decently good reason. But sometimes you just like open Clavicus and Maftail, and you have to go Clavicus, Maftail effect to reveal, normal summon Maftail, and then synchro into this, and then grab Magikey World to be able to play. That comes up, and it's unfortunate when it happens, but he also has another decent effect where if your opponent summons a monster that shares an attribute in your graveyard, you can destroy that monster once per turn. So having these two right next to each other, first of all, they're 28, they're big. And then also if your opponent does anything, they summon a monster, especially if you do this and turn all their monsters into an attribute. They summon a monster, you pop it with this will draw you a card. Also notably, the Fiend can attack twice on monsters during each battle phase. So, and then the final Magikey name in the extra deck is Vipartu, the Spirit, and on summon, detach to search your deck for a normal monster. And then while it has a normal monster attached to it, you can, when it declares an attack, if the monster that it's attacking has a attribute that corresponds to your graveyard, you can attach material to make your opponent send that monster to the graveyard. So this isn't a Towers Out. That's all that it is, really. I haven't made it yet, but you definitely could. After that, playing Gulamel for the Rahu stuff that we were playing earlier. Playing 1 Lacrima and 1 Wave Hiking Caesar. This is what makes the Fiendsmith stuff so good, is just getting 2 Light Fiends on the board, which is really easy, as I explained earlier. Banish the track, make this. This summons the engraver, and then just go from there. After that, playing Ignimaster Packbit. I never made this card. Not sure how well I actually like this card going forward. Yeah. Scarlight. This is just another generic level 8 synchro. Most boards, most combos can make 2 level 8 synchros. And then going second, this is like a decent include. Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. This is usually what I make going first. I usually make the Fiend and then this. There's not a lot of decks that actually have a good answer to this, and it's a really good generic level 8 synchro that I found. Playing one of the Thunder God. This is really only here because of Miradora, because it's a level 7. You can also make it with Gulamel, and all your level 4 tuners. And it's a decent card. So each time your opponent activates card or effect, you gain 300 life, and then you can tribute it, pay 1500, and either Raigeki them or Harpy's Feather Duster them, which is pretty cool. Playing one Emerald. This is exactly 1 point. So I had 99 points, and so I was like, okay, we'll play it. We're playing a normal monster deck, so the effect to reborn a normal monster from your graveyard is pretty cool. But most of the time, it's just there. I didn't make it, so, take that as you will. Exiton, still, if you can play rank 4s, you should probably be playing Exiton. You should also probably be playing Castel. You probably should also be playing Giant Hand. Castel came up because this deck actually had a really hard time getting over like a full Odeon board of just 3 trap cards and 2 mans, because they couldn't be destroyed with battle card effects. And so I had to spin away their Temple of the Kings and then be able to attack over everything. I made Giant Hand once or twice. You just get a critical mass of cards that you're like, I don't really want to just leave this level 4 on the board. I would like to do something with it. So going forward, before I put all this stuff away, going forward, I would like to put a Chaos Angel in here. I totally forgot that card existed. I think that there is some room to play around with points. Obviously, Chaos Angel is 20 points, but if you're playing the Fiendsmith stuff, you should be playing it. Especially because this deck can make a light and dark Chaos Angel very easily. And so it's pretty freaking good. As well, I would like to try and fit in a second Gulamel. Kind of just spitballing. Oh, and then also the second Fiend. Just because the Fiend came up a few times where I would like to have the second one. I think going forward, probably dropping the Emerald, maybe dropping the Master Packbit, and then maybe even the level 11 could fit that. But yeah. Alright, for side deck. I was really happy with the side deck. Unfortunately, I know everybody's looking forward to it. I'm not playing any of the hands. Playing 3 Droll. This is kind of mandatory. I would probably like to find room for it in the main. But it's kind of mandatory at this point. It's just such a good card, and I really wish this card would have gotten points. It feels really suffocating that this card is so prevalent in Genesis. 3 DD Crow. There's the other one. Yeah, I think that this card is still decent going. I think the meta doesn't fit it as well. I don't think I cited it in at all. Yeah, I didn't cite it in at all yesterday, but it's just good to have. 3 Cosmic. This card is still absolutely incredible. If you could play 6, you'd play 6. I even saw some people playing MST, which is absolutely insane to me. Playing 3 Dark Hole. This is good for board breaking. There's not a lot of decks, especially with Vanquish Soul out of the format. There's not a lot of decks that are actually immune to destruction. And just blowing up a board is pretty good. And then finally, the new Necessary Evil and the new card that will get points. Flying Sea was a fun card while it lasted. I say that sarcastically. This is the next fun card that will probably get a ton of points next ban list. For the rest of the turn, negate the effects of all cards your opponent controls that are Oh, I'm sorry. It's just all cards. So negate anything that isn't a normal spell. So against Radiant Typhoon, this is a house. Against Archmage, this is a house. Against Exosister, this was a house. Yeah, there's a lot of decks that this was against Pearly. Like I stopped an entire Pearly turn just because I just activated this. So a lot of people are on it, all in on like Radiant Typhoon Vision and like doing a whole bunch of critical mass of quick play spells, and this card just hoses that. So yeah, that is the deck profile. I went 2-2 with it, which I was pleasantly surprised. With it, I felt this deck performed really well. I got kind of sacked my last match where I played Exosister really close the match before, and I just misplayed a little bit, not knowing exactly how that deck played, and also drew some bad cards. The Ghost Mourners were all right against it, but not the best. And then drawing like Garrus Glosser. My last match was against White Forest, and like go first, no hand traps. They just went off. I chewed through their board really well, but I just needed like one more good card, and I was like sitting on a Dippity in hand or something like that. And then game 2, I set up like the God board. It was like Giant Hand, Wave Hiking Caesar, the Magikey Fiend, the Trap, and I felt really good. And then I got hit with double Ultimate Slayer, Twin Twister. Like it was insane, or it was cosmic, and I was just like, oh well, guess I lose, I guess. So there's some room for maybe some discussion on how strong going second cards are, and board breakers, but I'm not ready to have that conversation. I think this deck is really good. I think it has a lot of innovation, and I actually think that it's in a good contention. Despite my record with it, I think it performed very admirably, and very happy with it, and it's something I want to tweak going forward. So yeah, look forward to tomorrow. I'll have some combo videos with this deck, and show kind of how my thought process was with this deck and the good combos with it, and leave some recommendations in the comments of a couple other decks that I want to be playing. But I did just pick up a new job, and my Genesis tournament times are a little fewer and far between now. So I will try to post as much content as possible. But yeah, that's about it. See you.